Good morning, Cabrota Crew. Welcome back to our live stream, where we can kind of just get into what the battle box has for the day, and yeah, just see what's happening, see what we can trade. Looks like a couple people are here this morning. Got Spirit Maker. I don't know who else is really here, but if anybody else is here, make sure you say good morning in the comments. We'll hopefully see some y'all popping up in there. But yeah, other than that, I guess we'll just jump right into it. We got a nice little up move happening right now, with no divergence either. So pretty nice little up move. I'm on the 5, so scoot back a little bit. Had a little bit of a down run yesterday, and then now we're kind of breaking back up into that up move today. So we'll have to see if we can catch a trade off of that. Maybe we'll get on a little bit of a sideways flag or something like that. Kind of just have to see what's going on there. Yeah, let's see what the battle box has to say about today. Whoops. PPI reports today, huh? We'll definitely check that out. We'll just start our market review, see what happens today. So if y'all have been here before, you know we need those different time frame screenshots. And then I'm actually going to start with the news one because I want to see what Spirit Maker's talking about. So he's saying we got some CPI data today. So we'll just head to cryptograph.com, go to the 10th, and we'll get our picture. So yeah, we do have CPI. It was at 7:30, so that could be what's messing with the market right now. If you've never seen cryptograph.com, it's kind of what we're looking at. But you can see we got that 7:30 high impact, which is why it's red, and then it's just I guess it's not CPI, it's PPI, but you know, I don't know, high impact. That's all you really need to know, I guess. So 7:30, something to be mindful of. We're only like 30 minutes away, so most of the impact, I guess, should already be kind of done, but we'll see. Something to watch out for as we move forward a little bit. So we'll get those other screenshots going to trading view, 4-hour, auto it. And I'm going to turn off all my lines to make it easy. Get those screenshots. That's 4-hour. Get that 1-hour screenshot. $15-minute. Last but not least, we got the 5-minute. That's all we'll need for those. The next thing we'll do is that FRVP. Good morning, Terry. Welcome to the live stream. We got FRVP. So if you go to that cross, then go down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's gonna be here. I think typically it sits on long position, but I'm not 100% on that one. So it's 4 down though from the cross. Click the over button, fixed range volume profile. Then we're gonna go to the day before, so that'd be the 8th for today, or the 9th, sorry, for today. So we'll go to 7 o'clock the day before, 7 o'clock on the 9th to 7 o'clock today. And that'll give us our first levels, our 24-hour ones. So I'm going to turn those on and just grab and drop them onto our new levels. So red's the volume area high, yellow's POC, and blue is your volume area low. Lined up. Alright, so we got all those kind of lined up, set up there. Let's kind of see. Got those done. So we'll just move on to the morning ones, and then we'll work on getting the and then we'll kind of see what where the lines are at, and we'll put them onto our chat GPT. So your maker says, let's get the news energy play out, or let's let it play out and see what happens. See what setups are in the price action. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Kind of let it play out here. Excuse me. And then we'll see what kind of plays are setting up at the end of the day. Or not end of the day, but throughout the day, what's kind of happening. Yeah, it should be setting up pretty soon though, because we are kind of getting to the end of that range of time for the data to kind of already play out. All right, so we got our different FRBP levels on there. And now what I like to do is go back to our battle box and just type FRVP levels. And then, oh, dang it. Yeah, still need to see FRVP levels. Well, don't send it by accident like I did. So I'll do FRVP levels. Can't type. And then do shift tab, 24-hour, volume area high, POC, and volume area low. And then we'll do morning and do the same things. So I'm just going to copy and paste our three volume area high, VFC, and VAL right under that. That way I can just drag and drop the levels there. So we'll head back to trading view, turn off our morning ones, turn back on our 24-hour ones, and we'll start with those. So start with the volume area high, copy. We'll just go click on it, settings, volume area high coordinates, and then we'll just copy them and paste them, and we'll do that for all of them. We got our morning, or our 24-hour one, sorry, and then we'll go to the morning, and we'll do the same thing. So copy and paste the coordinates. Copy, paste them in here. Just go down the line. See, get that pasted. Chart. Wait, so we got our different FRVP levels in there. What else? So we do that 30-minute candle. So we'll close out our lines to make it simple, and we'll go to the 30-minute range. 7:30 candle. So if you hover over top of it, there'll be an H and L right under where it says Cabrota on my screen. And the numbers next to those are what we're going to type in. So next to H, we got 113,524. So we'll head back to our GPT. Let's say 30-minute candle. 13. It was like 5, 4, 524. Do low, and we'll do the same thing. Hover over our thing, and it's going to be 112,541. Sweet. So we got all of our different things in there. We've already sent our screenshots, so it's by accident, but those are already in there. So really the only thing we need now, nothing. So that's it. That's all of the stuff we need. We'll just hit send and see what the valve box says to save out today. So we got our summary here of the different levels. You got some um, different resistance points. Typically, or right here, it's just the FRBP levels, but you also got some different resistance zones and support zones that are on there. Then we got some trade strategies, news alerts, and then execution, like things to watch out for, as well as some levels if you want to copy them. We'll start with that. Um, Different time frames. So I'll head back to trading view. We'll go to that 4 hour, and it looks like we just rejected right off that 200. It's like the first thing that catches my eye. And we were talking about that in the stream yesterday, actually. I believe I still have the line on there, actually, from that. No, not that one. I think I did array, but it could have been that line there, too. Yeah, I don't know. But we were talking about it hitting that 200 yesterday in the stream. We I was thinking it might have just done that yesterday, but it kind of dropped out yesterday, and then today we ran up and ran right into that and turned around and started to come back down. So we'll kind of have to like check on that, I guess. Looking at we got on the 4 hour for the battle boxes. It says that BTC is testing the 200, which we just talked about. Momentum is building with higher lows. MACD is turning positive, and structure is in a grind up to resistance. So we got the MACD turning. Got 2 bars so far. Typically we get about 8 or so green bars before we get a float. Not always the case, as you can see. Just a little bit back, we got these just 2 bars here. 2 bars red too, but typically you get a couple of green before you start to flip. But we will see what happens with this one. You got RSI positive again. RSI's slower moving average is also curling up underneath price action, underneath the faster one, I guess. Price action, whatever you want to say. And then we got the stoches are also curling up. They're getting close to the top, but they're still curling up and running up nicely. Moving on to the 1 hour. We got a strong breakout candle clearing prior supply at 113.2 to 113.5. So we had that resistance that we were talking about the other day. I believe it was yesterday, actually. We are talking about in the stream how there's that resistance because of that double top here. And that's where I was saying, like, if we broke down, we likely would just continue. But it looks like we got that bounce back up and we broke through that resistance there. So now we're kind of smooth sailing for continuation upwards. And we don't have any like major, well, I mean, on the 1 hour, I guess we do. Yeah, so we'll need to pull up a little bit farther to get out of that uh, divergence issue. So what I'm saying is right now we had this right here, right, and that didn't really have any like any divergence there. We're just flat and flat. But now since the chart's kind of like this, especially if it closes here, and right now we're flat to down on the RSI, so we're looking at some decent divergence right there for the bearish divergence. And the 1 hour is kind of the same way. So we got a nice uptrend here. And if you go to the same thing on the RSI, are kind of flat to down as well. So something to pay attention to. If we can continue up a little bit higher, that kind of should negate that. Because if we do get a higher high on the RSI than this previous high here, underneath where I was, but right here, there's this previous high. If we get above that, then we'll kind of break that, and you'll have a higher high here and a higher high on the chart, so you won't have to worry about the divergence. The battle box says we're RSI is pushing over 70, greater than 70, so we are above that zone right now, so we're overbought by a decent amount. Yeah, price. We hit that 4 hour 200 today. I I thought we were gonna hit it yesterday, but no, we broke down and then ended up coming back up and hitting it today. This morning. Maker says price action over the last week has been waiting for that 4 hour 200. Yeah, yesterday we were sitting pretty nice to like run up and hit it, and then we didn't. So today we're kind of recovering from that, and we just ran right into it. So something to watch for. I'm actually gonna move my line down to be right on it. I guess I did use array. Yeah, we'll keep it right there. So onto the 15, we got a sharp rally leg from 112.5 to 113.5 with momentum extension. So 112.5, 13.5. Yeah, nice little rally there. Risk is short term overextension, but structure remains bullish. So you got RSI is overextended by a little bit. You got Stoaches showing that we could possibly have a curve down. MACD still has a lot of room to go, only 4 candles there. So it's looking like we could get a possible bit of a pullback to this yellow on the RSI, and then continue upwards after that. But we could reset even farther, like Surmaker just popped up in the comments. Lower time frames need to reset with price action holding the key levels of 112,500. So yeah, we could reset back, retest that. We could even retest what level is that? Probably write or put that down. I bet I have that line on here. Right there. That 113 level. If we retest that, that'd be great because that's kind of where that double top was. Um, the general area of 11382 ish, 11300 or 113k is kind of like the area we're looking for it to retest. It could continue farther, like Maker said, as long as we stay above that 15-minute 21 or the 112 500. That's kind of what we're looking at. To the 5-minute, we got a strong breakout surge from the morning volume area high. Oh yeah, let's throw those on there. So we got a surge upwards. Now we're coming down, retesting this, which this is typically our trade, right? So we got that breakout coming back. We're retesting it on the 5-minute, so we'll see if we get that good retest. But the one thing, like Spirit Maker just said in the comments again, there is that news event that brought us. Happened at I think it was 7:30, 7:30. So we had basically 7:30 to 8 is kind of our area that you want to be leery of, and at 7:30 we had a nice pump. Then we had that pullback action right here, kind of made a little flag, and then we pumped again to into 8 o'clock, and then now we're having that nice pullback again. So the question is, are we going to be able to hold this, or are we going to break down here? That's kind of what we've been looking at for the long. Yeah, Spirit Maker is calling that the long, saying that's the trade. Terry says he had a 15-minute long setup to go to. Pulled it when it broke down. The nice. I think that means you made some money. I believe you're saying you took it on the. Well, depending on what time you were up this morning, I guess you could have took it down here. 7 o'clock. Took this flag here. But I don't know. I don't know where you took that, but nice job. Took it on that pullback here. Oh, that was yesterday? Dang. Yeah, that was when it was time to get out. Yep. Yesterday it kind of just broke down, so there wasn't anything really. We could have took that down trade. I believe the battle box called that one. I don't remember for sure now. But we are starting to get that 15-minute long today, so you might want to take it a little higher than the 200. I'm thinking it'll spike. And if you remember from yesterday, we had that target of 114, 500, 600 area. If I remember right, it was from that flagpole that we drew on here from, I believe, this flag here. Because that nice flag was forming here. So like that. And we actually started to break above it right here. And that's probably when you got in, I'm guessing, that 15-minute trade. And then we broke right down after that, retested 200 and continued down, at least on the 5. But that flag I think took us up to like 114 500, so that'd be a good area to target, at least right now. So we'll kind of see. We'll get that battle plan build out and see what it thinks about today. That's kind of just my thoughts. Was that 14,600, but there could be a more hard line that the battle box is thinking of. So we'll go back to our GPT and say, let's build a battle plan. Yeah, that was just my guess. on where your trade was. It did. I remember thinking it was gonna go up, but that was a nice break of the perfect pattern. I don't know. It's just kind of the classic like pattern trade that everybody complains about. I guess whenever you're talking about patterns, it's the one that's like, oh, it's super nice pattern, breaks out, and you get in, and then it's like, boom, just rips the other way. But I don't remember where the battle box lines were on there. I believe this retest it showed us, but I also am pretty sure that this was a get in signal or pretty close to one at least. So when it ripped down, it would have took you like us out too, I guess, the battle box, and then you would have gotten in here again though, and then continued it down. So you would have made money overall, but you would have to take a hit in the face, I guess. So we got the scenarios for today. So got the 50-minute break of 113,524, which is right where our volume area high is sitting. Right here on that volume area high breakout level. So we actually got that. Now we're getting that retest right now. See if we hold it. If we close above it with the 113. Yeah. Yeah. So if we close above it and then we come back and retest it basically on the 5-minute, its targets are 114,200, so like right above that 11400 level, and then 114,800 is our next level. And then it's saying that a stretch goal would be 115,500. It's like way up there, so we can mark those real fast. So actually take some of these off, and then we'll do 114,200 level. So we got that level there. We got 114,800. And then we got 115,500. Looking for the 5-minute 21 MA to hold price action. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was kind of saying earlier is that's that 112,500, or now it's moved up a bit, but it was that 112,500 area. So that's what I'm thinking. It's that we need that to hold, like you were saying earlier too, Starmaker. So breakdown, we got the breakdown below 112,500 area, which seems pretty unlikely, but you know, like yesterday, you never know. So we got that. 112,500, it's like right under the volume area low. So if we get that breakdown of the volume area low on 15-minute, get that close and retest on the 5-minute, then we'll be looking for some downtrend. 112 would be our first target for that one, and then 111,400 at the 24-hour POC, and then the 24-hour volume area low is going to be the last target. And then the other trades that you can do are just the more advanced, like chop and value just kind of like trading the chop in between. But today we are looking to set up that pretty nice up trade, at least as of right now. Like this is kind of the trade. The battle box is kind of showing that it's looking like it's gonna fire here. I have to go jump into this one actually. So I'm gonna pull this up actually, see what we're looking at. So we're looking good here. We're getting that close of the got that close, and now we're kind of like holding that level there of the volume area high, which is a good sign for us to continue upwards. We flipped the resistance to support, and now we're kind of holding it. So that's always that's a good thing to look at. And then now what we're hoping for is, well, I mean, really nothing. I guess we kind of got the confirmation. It's like, at least for the VATA blocks, it's time to look at getting into that trade there. Oops, my bad. Wrong thing. There we go. So we'll just throw it at the third thing, stop below the breakout, something like that. And the one thing is too, we are looking at taking it off before it breaks down to our stop. So we're looking at probably that 113.5 if we get a breakdown and a close below, like a decent close below, 15-minute close. Then we'll be looking at getting into that one. Or getting out, sorry. We'll be looking at getting out of that one before it goes down and hits us out. Which, there's always the possibility, I guess, that we could just break down there and it just gets us out before we can even really do anything. But I don't know. What do you guys think of the trade? You like that trade? Essentially setting up. The only thing that makes me a little leery of this one that we're looking at is the fact that um the news kind of set it up. Like the news is what gave us that initial break and close above, and then now we're retesting, but it's like retesting. I don't know. Streetmaker doesn't like it. Yeah, yeah. See, that's the other hard part is, and when we were looking at it earlier, that's kind of what we were looking at too. Is that lower time frames are pretty topped out, and like they do need that reset. Which I mean, I think you said that earlier in the comments too, Streetmaker. That one 4 hour, 15-minute ties into the 4 hour. Yeah, we do got, and this is something to watch out for too, I guess. On the 15-minute, we got that divergence there. So we're looking for that down trade there, or possible down trade, I guess. And this RSI right here on the 15 tells me that we need to get a more of a reset before we continue up. Hit the 200 on the 4 hour, the 5-minute and 15-minute need to reset and hold the key levels. Yeah, so we need to reset it like a lot more, I'm thinking. Maybe not down, but like we need to kind of sit here for a minute before we take off, because you got the 5-minute, you got, and the 15-minute both are RSIs are overbought, and they're almost like they're way up there. So I guess possible trade here, but it's gonna be a bit before it truly sets up. When I guess you'd say like jumped in, quote unquote, it was a bit early. Um, Technically the system, I guess we got the break and then the hold, so technically the system, but we'll have to monitor that. We'll be jumping out, I guess, if it hits that level. Um, but yeah, I guess that's kind of what we're watching for, is that breakout or breakdown. We do want it to kind of hold for a little bit, like Spearmaker's talking about. Um, See if it continues to hold around 114,500. Yeah, yeah, it's streaming. That's what these three are that we're looking at. We got 114,200, 114,800, and then 115,500 area. think we're gonna retest the 110K area. That'd be like if we got that down trade and continued down. Possible. Possible. But see what happens. Um, yeah. Make sure y'all check out our X count if you want to get some of those levels from today's stream. And then we'll get that uh, recap coming out at 10 o'clock today. So if you guys are interested in learning a little bit more about how we trade or just kind of seeing what we thought about yesterday, you can check that out. And then, yeah, check us out on X and TikTok. We're on both as well. And then, yeah, we'll see what happens with today. Um, right now, it's kind of looking more like we're gonna go up, but there's also that risk of going down. And excuse me, like Spearmaker said, the everything kind of does need that reset, and it would kind of reset the news pretty nicely if we continue down like that. So we'll see what happens here. See where we head on to. But for now, that's kind of what the battle box is saying. So yeah, hopefully y'all have a good day trading. Don't get in until it tells you to. And other than that, we will see y'all tomorrow for the live stream at 8 o'clock. Yeah, happy trading, y'all. See you later.